Today I'll be making maple wine. The process is very simple. I'm outside with a propane burner. I'm going to take the sap that I've collected from our maple trees. If you need more information on how to collect that, I made a separate video for how to collect the sap. I'll be taking that sap and boiling it down. Basically all you need to do is boil the sap to boil off the water, concentrate the sugar to the right concentration that you're looking for, and then add in whatever other flavors you're looking for and ferment this wine. So it starts outside here. I'll be boiling this down probably most of the day. The first step, of course, boiling outside. To do that, all I'm going to do is just add some sap to these pans. Pick the wide, shallow pan. Just let that go till it's boiled off. Then come back every half an hour or so and add back a little bit more. I finished boiling down the 20 gallons worth of sap into about 2 gallons. I'm going to go ahead and put it all into this pot here. I've already got half of it in there. Take it inside and see what we ended up with. I brought the maple sap that I boiled down inside, scooped a little bit out and stuck it in the refrigerator to cool, at least to get it back to room temperature so I can take an accurate reading for the specific gravity. The reading that I got was 1.09, which happens to be exactly where I wanted it to be, so I'm not going to add any sugar at this time. 1.09 should end up at a fairly dry wine, so if, as it's fermenting, I taste it and it turns out drier than I would like, I can always add sugar after the fact while it's still fermenting. So to read a hydrometer, you take a sample of the fluid that you're trying to sample, like in this case our maple wine, cool it down to room temperature so that you don't have any inaccuracies, and then float the hydrometer in the cylinder of the liquid. And what it ends up with is, since the concentrated sugar solution is actually more dense than water, this hydrometer will float higher than it would otherwise in water. You can take a reading off the side of it that'll tell you the concentration of sugar in the liquid. And that sugar is what ferments and will tell you how much alcohol percentage there is if you take a reading before and after. So we have the concentrated maple sap now in the primary fermenter. And to that, I'm going to add fresh lemon that I've sliced very thinly for acidity. 2 cups of strong tea for tannins. I've chose a rooibos tea because of the red color. I'd like to get that in there. And since we're adding the fresh fruit, I'll add a Camden tablet to sterilize it and let the whole mixture rest overnight before I add the yeast and yeast nutrient tomorrow and start the fermentation. So first thing, go ahead and add in the lemon. And the tea. One Camden tablet. And that's it until tomorrow. Our maple wine has rested for 24 hours, so I'm getting ready to add the yeast and yeast energizer. I've rehydrated the yeast according to the directions on the back of the packet in some warm water, and also have some yeast energizer or yeast nutrient to help the process along. So now we're going to add this to the mixture and get the process started. So we're going to take our yeast that's been rehydrated, give it a quick stir to make sure it's all mixed up good. And add that. The beginnings of our maple wine. I'm also going to add some yeast energizer or yeast nutrient, because last year it took it a while to get off. I'm going to add a half teaspoon yeast energizer, sprinkled it on top. And it's ready for a lid. And the airlock. Fill the airlock with some clean water. It's ready to go.